Start the planning meeting. Any apologies for absence?
Just Councillor Macbrook.
Any declarations of interest? No. To confirm it's the correct record of the meeting the committee held on 1st of July. Everybody happy with those?
Yeah, I'll propose it. Second.
Got a seconder? All in favour? So item number 4, we'll go through the large amount of planning applications. The first application is land at Cockshoot Hill, proposal to convert empty plot of land to EV charging stations and car parking spaces. I do believe we've already had a refusal on this on the portal. Mark will continue.
Yes, Chairman. So it's outside the consultation period. It finished on the 16th, but hopefully we can still get a response in tomorrow. The compelling decision, the conclusive one really, is Highways, because they refused it, recommended refusal, and that was on the basis really of the 12 or so neighbours' concerns, which was about traffic, increased volumes, road safety. There's an issue on the visibility displays was put in by the applicant at 20 miles an hour, where it's actually 30 on Cockshoot. So there's a technical issue there, which Highways have confirmed that. So really, if Highways have refused it, or recommended refusal, our response as a town council need to accord with it.
Yes, I recommend that we refuse.
Happy to second.
All in favour? Okay, and the next planning application is 14 Tagwell Close, Trowbridge. It's a 2-storey side and single-storey rear extension.
A few bits on the portal on this one, Chairman. There's 2 neighbours' responses. Neither of them are an objection. I think it's the neighbours either side. One is agreement in principle, but they just want to note that the shared access drive shouldn't be obstructed by parking. And the second one is a stronger response, but it's comments only on 7 points, which are summarised on there in the portal. And then all the statutories, there's no issue, no objection to go ahead.
Any comments on this one? Dave?
There's some doubt about the drainage. Did water,
Just surface water runoff.
there's not enough information.
They just asked for more details on that, the rainwater.
And one of them, can I say another one, please? One of the neighbours says that there will be no access from the front of the house to the back, and they are guessing that the access that will be required would be a gate inside, which would mean that people would have to gain access through their drive to get round the back of this house after it's had its extension.
Yeah, there's comments here from the neighbour at 15 Tagwell. Yeah, they've mentioned about no effective roof drainage features and guttering in downpipes to indicate to prevent rainwater. They've asked about the consideration of natural light for the existing road properties that are opposite the proposal. Insufficient assessment on the loss of buffer and access space to the side and frontage of the property, or the impact on the all-round existing marked public pedestrian pathway and frontage roadside parking. I do believe it's also mentioned about the pathway, isn't it, in the...
Yeah, it's on public rights of way. It's a fairly standard response, but just that it's marked and it's kept clear at all times during any works. Yeah, the room's adjacent.
There's a large comment on the proposed side extension is located up to the edge of the road property, makes no allowance for the occupiers to access the rear of their property for normal domestic and garden paraphernalia. appearing to indicate an intention to insert a side gate entrance within the wood fencing, which would open onto my private drive for pedestrian access. So there's that issue as well. They would oppose to any opening onto their drive, and this could potentially devalue their property and create a lack of interest due to this being a big hazard, invasion of privacy. There's also the application states that additional design and access information is submitted on Plan 12 D&A, which appears not to be available online. It is demonstrated that the proposed development would have a detrimental impact on road safety as well. So I think based on those,
The road safety is a concern expressed.
Yeah.
Highways, as the Highways Authority, setting these criteria, so that's for access and parking, no objection.
I think my comments would be to defer and take these comments into account from the neighbour. Any other, Councillor Brooks?
Thank you, Chairman. Actually, I mean, that's objection, most of it, quite honestly, is a nonsense, because if there's no right of way granted to these people to go on somebody else's drive, you can't just open the gate and drive through, at all. So, I mean, that, I can't really see that objection's got any foundation whatsoever. And when I looked at this, the actual development itself is on the far side of the property from the neighbours. I don't think they'd even see it, let alone have problems with, light or anything else. And the objection about access and parking, I mean, the house is already there. It's no different. None of that's being changed. And then the reference to the footpath, I think, as Town Clerk said, is just simply that it's there and you don't disturb it effectively. But again, from what I can see, the plans don't disturb the pathway or anything like that. So, quite frankly, on that basis, I'll be quite happy to propose approval for it.
Councillor Davison?
Yeah, is it right that you've got to have access to the rear of your house?
No, I've had this raised before. It's not compelling.
If you want to take the lawnmower through your land without the patio doors, that's your.
But not through the neighbours, sorry.
No, you're not allowed to. That doesn't give you any right whatsoever to go on someone else's land. And obviously, the neighbour's not going to grant a right of way or whatever. So the issue doesn't arise.
I've got to say, looking at the property on Sunday, it is tight for a side extension. It is tight. Councillor Humphreys?
Thank you. Just sort of like to clarify and build on the point about access to your garden. Is there a proposal to put a gate in the fence that would open up onto the neighbour's drive?
No.
If there's not,
No.
then that's speculation, isn't it? And
Yeah.
we don't know for certain that that is going to happen.
And it's fairly clear the neighbour's not going to give permission if they were asked. So.
Just to go back a stage, did you say this isn't an objection from the neighbour?
It's a
comment.
comment. It's a comment, yeah.
Which is quite an interesting one, isn't it? So can we say, seconding Bob's comment, that these comments should be taken into account by the planning officer?
Recommend approval to note.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy with that.
Everybody's happy with that.
So if we're happy to recommend approval, but the notes on here to be taken into account? Yeah. Proposer?
I think Councillor Brooks has
Yeah.
proposed.
Yeah, I'm happy to amend it in line with the.
You seconded, Joe?
I'm happy to, I think Councillor Simpson did that, I think you're happy with the additions.
And it's to note neighbours' comments,
Yeah.
not objections. Yeah.
All in favour?
Thank you.
That's the sum of the planning application for this time. So
Amended these now.
amended planning applications are non-received. So item 5, decisions of the local planning authority, approval notices for Chading District Council. The local planning authority has issued 4 approval notices since the last town council planning committee. 3 of these did not accord with the recommendation to the town council planning committee,
I've got the background on those. First one is quite recent. It was the Mulberry Tree Hill retrospective porch application for the nursery. So that was approved. Town Council objected to that on the 9th of April. And then the other ones are further back. This one is 27 new apartments with parking at the Royal British Legion, Solwall Road. Town Council objected to that, recommended refusal on the 11th of October 2022. And that has gone through, but the issues that we objected on were mainly highways, a deferred response from them, and that those issues on access have been addressed, and drainage was the other point. And then, so with time, those issues have elapsed really. And the third one was the construction of one self-build on Newland Lane, Newland. So Town Council generally, it's not a precedent, but generally recommends refusal on infrastructure, which we did on the 9th of April, but that one has been approved. It's a single self-build.
Item 6, Vans Safer Roads Scheme. Pursuant to minute references of the Planning Committee and the Resources Committee, both held on 15th of January, to notify that the new replacement solar vans fitted at Addis Way in early May has been subject to operational issues. This has required retrieval of the equipment and various diagnostic tests to be carried out to diagnose the fault. The sign was reinstated week commencing 8th of July and continues to be monitored. I think we've got a further update on that.
An update on this one. Unfortunately, that is faulty, that one, so it's going to have to be returned, I think, to the manufacturer. So it will be undeployed for a while. And then unfortunately, the VAS at the Sandwalk Road, which was the other replacement from May, has been vandalised this weekend again. So that one, we reserve judgment whether we can get that repaired.
Okay. Item 7, we've got a notification of withdrawal of planning application. This is for 59 dwellings at Vines Lane.
So that was just to say that
Yeah.
they've pulled out. Yeah.
Item 8, Worcestershire County Council road traffic regulation, closure of Nunnery Avenue to the junction to Manning Road. This is to install a new vehicle crossing drop curb, and that's anticipated duration of 3 days, commencing 14th of August. Worcestershire County Council road traffic regulation, first notice of order of temporary road closure, Kidderminster Road, Droitwich Spa, to close a section from Vines Lane to Kidderminster Road roundabout to enable railway maintenance, and that's anticipated 6 nights from the 19th of August. Another road traffic regulation, temporary road closure from Bryan Mill Mini Roundabout up to Westwood Road from the junction. This is for carriageway resurfacing and is anticipated for 14 days commencing from the 23rd of July, which is tomorrow.
That one, Chairman, that was deferred because to allow the school holidays.
Yeah. Item 11, another road traffic regulation by WCC. This is for St Andrews Street, Friar Street and the junction of St Andrews Road to enable new customer utilities from Cadent Gas.
That one's this week,
Yeah,
Chairman.
that's this week. Yeah.
It's in force today. There's two-way traffic flow down St Andrews now.
Last one on the list is a temporary road closure from Crimson Way, Droitwich Spa to York Avenue to junction of Newland Road. This is again to enable carriageway patching, and this is already between 15th and 26th of July, so that can already commence. Yeah. Are there any other further issues to be discussed? No?
Thank you.
I'll close the meeting here.
10 minutes.
Have a good August.
Point of order, it's actually 6:14. The meeting starts at 6:50, that's the point of order.
Thank you. Yeah. Just talk amongst yourselves, I think.
It's now 6:50, you're all right.
Right. Okay, yeah, looks like we can go now.
That's wrong.
Well, I have to go by it, sorry. Item number 1 then, apologies for absence, please.
Just councillor Matt Brooke.
Thank you. And item 2, do we have any declarations of interest? I take that as no. And item 3 then, to confirm as the correct record of minutes of the meeting on the 3rd of June, which I wasn't present at, so I shan't be voting on that one, but could I have someone to propose it, please? Thank you, councillor Duffy, and second, please. Councillor Brazier. All in favour? On the committee, yeah, thank you very much. Okay. Item 4, special grants annual approval. So we just want to approve the payment of the special grants. As listed there, 3 of them. These chairman was set in the budget in January. It's the annual ones for those 3 organisations. Okay. So unless anyone has any comments, could I have a proposal for
I'm
that?
happy to propose that.
And the second. Thank you. And everybody on the committee in favour, please? Duly carried. Thank you. Item 5, notice of vacancy in office of councillor, Chawson Ward. That is merely for information and as printed.
I collected 10 signatories last Friday, so there will be, hopefully, unless somebody isn't signed incorrectly, there will be a by-election.
Well, thank you very much for the update. Obviously, it'll have to go through the procedure, but it's useful to have that information in hand. Thank you very much. I must admit, I was over the room in the sense that it will cost, what cost? Between 3,000 and 5,000, I think, depending whether they have polling cards, but I would recommend that we do, because it was a low turnout last time, and a tangible polling card, and which I can recommend as well. It's about another 1,800 quid, I think. Okay.
I'm going to say that the response on the doorstep was very good, and they've certainly, all of them said that they would not be happy to have a selected councillor.
Oh, but again, that is democracy in action. That's their choice, so that's absolutely fine. I'll move on then. Let's see any other comments. I'll move on then to item 6, renewable energy. And I think you've got a comment on that one. Yes, Chairman. It was really just to try and coordinate a meeting for the subgroup. It's been difficult with diaries. We are quite busy at the moment leading up to the end of August, but there's 2 possible dates I've penciled in, Tuesday the 13th or Thursday the 22nd, anytime. I know Councillor Franks isn't here tonight, but if we could agree on one of those for that subgroup, that would be useful. Then I can offer it to him as well.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're looking into September.
So what were the days again?
Tuesday the 13th or Thursday the 22nd of August. As it happened, I can do either. And the delegation was Councillor Brazier, Councillor Brooke, who I'll speak to, Councillor Duffy, Councillor Franks, yourself, Councillor Hopkins, and then obviously Councillor Key is no longer elected member, so it was the Chairman of Resources as well. Okay. So we just need to get the information back on those dates, please.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'll communicate that as proposed, either of those 2 dates. Thank you, that would be great. And after the responses, item 7 then, the bus shelter replacements, and again, really for information that we're still at very early days, but we are starting to look at some design options and so forth. Yeah. So just on that, Chairman, I think Katie's got a design mock-up Councillor Brooks, the Chairman, did draw up for us. Since the CNA meeting, because this crosses CNA and resources really, at the beginning of July. We've gone back to 2 or 3 manufacturers to see if they can just simply change the safety glass panels for steel, which none of them can do that because these are off-the-shelf manufactured units. You buy them as they are, so that's quite disappointing. So really, we are looking at bespoke. So this is why Bob's done that sketch design there. What is used for that and the dimensions is the suggestion by Councillor Franks was for one of these with a natural grown roof. So we use the dimensions of that. The problem with that company is they're all glazed, so they don't do any that aren't glazed. So again, that's a prohibitive factor. So it's looking drilled steel is the way forward. We need more time now to approach fabricators for costs. So we are progressing, but it's proving quite difficult. As I said to a couple of councillors, what we're trying to do with this now is get best value, because it's worth spending a little bit longer to get the right fix for these vulnerable locations. Otherwise, we're going to get repeat ASB and problems again with cost.
Again, it's also an opportunity to support some of our regional, fairly local manufacturers and so on, and to have something which is bespoke to the town. And again, I thought it would be quite nice to try and take the opportunity to have something a little bit different, without being sort of silly, but just have something. And also, obviously, that we can build on what we've learned about the vandalism and so on in the past. So we can end up with something which is, nothing's ever vandal-proof, but at least we can move a bit more in that direction. So this is very much a work in progress then. And obviously we'll give you an update as it progresses. Okay, again, no comments, then we'll move on to item 8. Again, for information, the neighbourhood development plan. I think again, we'll do a comment on that.
Yeah, this is the 3rd year of funding. It was slightly earlier. It's always been August, but they announced it as the general election was announced through locality. So we have managed to get that applied for and granted. We've had the money already. So that would take us up to the 18,000 full eligibility for a council this size, which is good. And I had to reaffirm the fee proposal with the consultant because that dated from July 2022. And that's exactly as it was, 16,500. So that means that the locality funding will cover the professional fees, which was always the intention. There will be some additional costs as we go into consultation. The draft plan has been reviewed by the steering group on the 6th of August. I did send a note out to all members about that last week, and that will form the basis of the consultation, which will go through into the autumn and winter. So we're on plan at the moment for, I would say, around March time. But what we've got to be careful with, and this is why Wichhaven is important that they align with the consultant, is that our plan is written to the SWDP that's been reviewed, and that currently is set for around January time, because there's no point in the town council setting the neighbourhood plan to the old South Worcestershire development plan, which is going to be very soon succeeded by the reviewed version. That's part of the goal for us to achieve, and then they will both be current up to 2041, which they're completely aligned now. So we're there or thereabouts on that timescale.
Yes, thank you, Mark. Thank you for that. Yes, so basically we are on course. We've got the finance in place, and hopefully we'll carry on as planned.
Just on the consultation aspect there, and some of your suggestions, Councillor Hopkins, what we're going to most likely do is do drop-in sessions, and what we're looking at is probably one in the central ward or central location, one in the east and one in the west, as well as the mailing and the online surveys when we get into the detail of the consultation on the 17 promises.
Yeah, and I think we're also looking at the way we can employ social media, which I think was a point you originally raised. So
That's never
that will all need to be taken into the into the pot. So hopefully that's that. Okay, we'll then we'll move on to item 9, accounts for payment as per the list. Could I have a proposal?
Having just signed them all, can I have a-
Who's the signer? Councillor, the seconder, please. Councillor Duffy. And all those in favour, please. Thank you. Duly carried. And I will therefore declare close the meeting.
It's 7 minutes.
Thank you.